But he says, A, the economy can take it.
Right.
We have a very strong economy right now, so if you're going to do it, this is the time to do it. His political advisors say, sir, we're heading into a re-election campaign. We'd actually like to not do it. But these are numbers from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. If you look at this, just exports threatened by tariffs. If you look at the states that are dark red, that means 10% or more, extremely difficult damage to their economies, if you will. That's a lot of Trump country, if you look at that. Every state gets hit and hurt by this. So it is, whether you agree or disagree with the president's perspective, it's a bold and a risky political move to do it now, heading into re-election at a time most of the economic numbers are great for him.
Well, yeah, and I think if you look at the tweets in the order in which they were tweeted, which gets confusing because there were some deletions and moving around on the board and then retweetations. But if you look at them in chronological order, you see him laying out pretty explicitly his political case and then weaving it from, I know what I'm doing, the economy can take it, to if things go a little sideways, I'm going to prop up the farmers so everyone in the Midwest chill out, to looping this in with the Obama administration, making a comparison between his foreign policy approach and the Obama administration's approach, to tying Joe Biden to Obama. I think he called it like the Sleepy Joe administration. He's given it a new name. And then ultimately by making the prediction that Joe Biden is the most likely Democrat to face him in the general election contest next year, and that it will be a contest about his approach to China versus Biden's approach to China. So this was not like the president woke up in a bad mood and decided to like mess with, the talks. The timing of the tweet was very specific. It came early in the morning as the morning shows, were really kicking into gear around 7 a.m. and before those talks resumed. And the president was pretty clearly signaling, you guys can meet today, but as far as I'm concerned, these talks are over for now.
And so the question for the past several administrations, will the Chinese move on any of these big structural issues like intellectual property, like some of the other business practices? And now the question is, how long will the president hold out? Because again, this is from the Trade Partnership Worldwide. Now this is a pro-trade group. So, but look at these numbers. These are just job losses. Job losses estimated. Florida, a big state. These are all states the president flipped in the last election from blue to red. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa. Will the president stay firm if this goes on for weeks and months, and those states and those Republican senators from many of those states, Republican governors in several of those states start saying, sir, problem?
And that's precisely the concern that a lot of Republican senators have voiced to the president in the last several weeks. I do think, though, with this particular trade standoff, there has been a little bit of nuance coming from Senate Republicans because even Republican senators believe there is a political advantage to the president showing that he's tough on China. And I've even talked to Democrats, for example, from Pennsylvania, who say, my constituents like that tough approach. So there is a little bit of political thought kind of the other way, but writ large, when you're talking about the ongoing concern with the steel and aluminum tariffs, when you're talking about proposed auto tariffs, there's no doubt that they would hit these key states hard and that Republican senators are, sounding the alarm to the president, even directly making that political argument. But when I talk to senators and I ask them, look, how does the president respond when you kind of make that electoral argument with him? And they say, the president says, look, the farmers love me and they'll stick with me and they trust me. And that's true for now. How long that lasts, it's yet to be seen.
He's betting that they will stay with him. And as June, I know you've been talking to people on the Hill as well. I just want to say again, as this plays out, if you're watching this from home and you say, how does this affect me? The average impact on a family of four be $767. Now, some people might say, oh, that's only $800. For a lot of families, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. That's your summer vacation.
Trump tax cut.
That might be your Trump tax cut. Right, again, about somewhere in the ballpark of 1 million jobs over the next 3 years if this plays out that long. Now, again, it could be over in a couple of weeks, could be over in a couple of months. But the president he has been consistent on this for a long time, and he says, we'll see if they get a deal in the end, if he actually holds out, forces China to make giant structural changes. But he says, you know what, past presidents haven't had the courage to do it, I'm going to do it.
For sure, and it has been remarkable, the resilience at which Trump supporters have been willing to say, you know what, I think in the end he is going to make this deal. There's always been kind of, a split view of how a lot of the president's supporters view his business acumen versus, the reality of some of his art of the deal. But they have been willing to be very patient. But the uncertainty, which is coming at the same time as planting season, soybean prices are horrible. The floods in the Midwest. I was talking to a Republican farm state senator this morning who said, I hope there is an end game, emphasis on hope. If there is, I don't know what it would be. So the uncertainty over all of this is what worries Republicans, but I think it would be foolish to say that all of these Trump voters are suddenly going to stop supporting him because of this alone. So far, they've been willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll see how long that lasts.